Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I know I did not do any commentary for my first 3 episodes of Let's Play Minecraft. That's mainly because this is one of the games that I just like to play whenever I've got a little time to play it, and I'm not always going to be recording everything I do. As you can see in episode 3, this was not complete. This is my my palace, my house, as so to speak, because I used to have like a wood hut here if you look in episode 1. But now I have this big building, and I really, really like it. I almost hesitate to actually adding on to it anymore, but I do want to continue to add on to it. Of course, in episode 3, the last episode we did, we were just getting close to being done with the north wing over here, and now as you can see, it is actually completed. There's a north and a east, or north and a south wing added. I also added these columns, and I've added some windows to the top. And the courtroom, I actually added a throne. I'm not done with it. Of course, this is all experimental, so it's nothing perfect. As you can see, I used redstone blocks. I'm not really using redstone right now, so I use my excess redstone to make redstone blocks, because I like red-looking blocks, besides red wool. But if we go off to the north wing, as you can see, small corridor. I meant for it to be bigger. It's actually the kitchen. It's nothing special. I've got a crafting table to make the food, a furnace to cook, and very little food items actually stored in here. Then of course you can look out the, let's see if that's north, so west window here on the west face of the building. And if we go back here, we're back in the main room. And then if we go to the south wing, it's my workshop. I've got an anvil in here, a crafting table, 2 furnaces for smelting. I got this one filled with all my special items. I need a little more gold to make a second gold block. I'm actually going to put that on my throne. Then I've got some more diamonds there. And then this is my tools chest for weapons and buckets and anything else. And then down here, it's actually interesting, an interesting story. This is actually over a canyon. My entire home, and I'm going to jump outside real quickly. My entire home is actually the back part of it. There used to be a canyon there, and there is still access to it. So I actually wanted to outline it so you could tell where the canyon was. There's actually 2 canyons. Where you see stone here, just 1 block underneath that, there's a canyon. A deep, deep canyon. And when I made this storage room beneath the south wing, when I dug down just a couple blocks below the south wing, I ran into the canyon. So I actually had to do a lot of modifying. And I'll show you here in a little bit, because you can actually see the base of this storage room from under the canyon. And you can actually get to the canyon's floor through my mine. But anyway, I don't like having this stone roof out here. I'll probably cover it up with dirt. But as you can see, that storage room we were just in, we're going to go back in there in a second, here on the east side of my building. And I'm actually calling it the Bureau. The Bureau is, it'd be like Der Büro is German for the office. I don't really like calling it the office, but I like calling it the Bureau. It's my bureau. And it kind of reminds me of a German government building. So don't ask me why. But anyway, as you can see, I got a few cows running around in here. I'll do a full tutorial of the walls. Of course, I tried doing all that in the first episodes, but I didn't commentate it, so it's kind of confusing when I'm just doing this and there's no words. I put music in the background at least. But we're going to jump back inside here. Apparently there's monsters dying off. There shouldn't be any inside the building, but it sounds like it. Anyway, we go down these stairs, and down here is my storage room. And of course, here's the east side of the building and a window to look out of. And for most of this wood floor, 1 block down is the canyon. And I want to build a big basement, but this is just kind of a storage room. Anyway, I've got general items, building items mainly, anything I use to build with in this box. Then over here, just about anything else like coal, redstone, just about everything. Excuse me, everyone, I'm getting a phone call. Let me mute that. All right. Alrighty, let's see now. Okay. Let's go back upstairs, and I might as well show off the actual bureau again. The second floor, it's not really a second floor. I mean, because if you look at the courtroom, it's a huge courtroom. If I remember right, it's like 9 blocks high. But if we go up, this is technically like the second floor, where there are no rooms in here, because if you dig over that way, you're just in the courtroom again. But technically what would be the 3rd floor, you come in here, and this is my bedroom. It is taller than what I would normally make 1 floor, but it is shorter than the courtroom below. But this is my bedroom. I got a double bed in here, and I have a lot more decorating to do. But anyway, that's the bedroom, and I mean, it looks a lot bigger from the outside. But my intentional plans is to continue going up with stairs here and make more rooms. I'm trying to keep everything symmetrical. Both the wings are symmetrical. And I think instead of just adding on, off to the side, and I don't want it to look lopsided, but I think it would look neat if I continued going straight up like this middle building was like a huge tower. But anyway, as you can see, I haven't harvested what was left of my farm here. I actually did make a more efficient farm with water in the middle of it, so it grows faster and I don't have to dig the dirt. But anyway, we're going to go through the walls real quickly here. And these walls took a long time to build. This is the second time I built them like this. The walls themselves and the wood platform above. And there's only one way up right now. The ladder's here, but you can walk around the entire wall. Oh, wait! Quit chewing on my backpack. Sorry, the dog's chewing on my bag. But anyway, this is the only way to the top right now. But it is all enclosed all the way around. And like I put in the last video, this, what I believe to be the northeast corner, is actually very deep. As you can see, the walls are all the exact same height on the outside. But of course the terrain is not the same height. So obviously when you get over here, you're no longer level, and then you go down here, and then, ooh, look at this, another level to the walls. And then it goes up. I'm obviously not done with the interior. It is enclosed, but it's not completely done. Of course, the cows have gotten in here, so there's cows wandering around all over the place. I kind of like what I did with the stairway, though. I plan to do that with other parts of the wall. But my initial plan is, like the walls themselves, they're not just walls, they can be buildings themselves. And I don't know why I came up here, because now I just got to jump down. But I'm not going to go that way anyway. So, a lot more work to do here. I actually finished the walls up, the floor where I've got it, before I started my actual house. I lived in that little wooden shack, and I was putting so much work into this stupid wall. I finally decided, you know what, I need to finish the house. So that's why I think it's the first episode, I burnt down my little wooden shack, which, of course, it was raining, so that was kind of counterproductive, so I ended up chopping it down. But I kind of like what I've got. And then, of course, we go up here. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous videos, but this is a Minecraft server with my friend. Of course, he only plays it when he's over with me. That's his place over there, and it's not completed yet. And I told him it just looks like a square box on a mountain. Of course, initially that's what it is, but it's really neat on the inside what he's done, and what he continues to do. And he's actually he's going to make supports on the side to make it look more realistic. But we decided to do this server in this game. We wanted to make our own big castles, and he wanted to make one on a mountain. Of course, this mountain's tiny, but we couldn't find a big mountain. But he said this would do for him. He's got a lot of work to do. But it's really neat on the inside, so hopefully I'll be able to show you guys the inside of that in one of the future episodes. But it's really neat just to look at everything from up here. Of course, I went through so much work doing what I've done now, and it doesn't look like there's that much here. I just absolutely love my bureau. But anyway, we're going to go back down to the ground level now, and I'm going to show you the mines, which I may have, well, obviously you've seen it already. And the last episode I put stairs in it finally to make it quicker to go up and down. Of course, I got tired of going outside of the walls to cut down trees for wood, so every now and then you can see trees growing in here. I plant them in here so I can just cut them down from in here. But anyway, here's my mine, Buck's Mine. And like I said, it has stairways now. Much quicker to get up anyway. It's not much faster going down, but as you can see here, this was like the main floor where I did a lot of excavating. I dug out a lot of stone from this room. And then if we just go off to the left here, back towards the east, we're actually in the canyon. This is the canyon, and obviously the outside part of the wall, I didn't cover that part of the canyon up, but the interior of the walls, with inside the wall, it's all covered up. And of course it's really dark down here, so there's lots of monsters. But as you can see from this point, if I don't get blown up by this creeper, let's see if we can kill him. I really need to get a sword. Alright, maybe he'll stay there. No, he's not. He's coming. Okay. Die. No! Okay, it blew up and the chicken lived. Anyway, as I said, there is my storage room. And you can see the floor of the storage room. It actually comes down into this canyon. It was kind of inconvenient when building it. It's going to make it hard to build a basement. But technically, I can still have a basement. It will be underground. It's just part of it is going to be inside of this canyon. And I believe you just hatched an egg, so thank you. And I guess I'll let you live. All right. I'll show you some more. Of course, there's lots of stuff. I haven't dug anything out of these mines. There's iron and all kinds of stuff everywhere, but I've been digging mainly for stone. But my mine does go all the way to the very bottom of the earth because I want to be able to find diamonds. Of course, here was another small level where I just dug to get stone primarily. And then we go down a little further, and then there's another big area here where I was digging out stone. Of course, there's some iron I need to get still. Of course, I have tons of iron. And then there was actually like a huge cave down here, and I actually fell in it when I was making this stairway. But I went ahead and kind of got it all fixed so I can get to the very bottom. And then ironically enough, when I finally reached the bottom, there was this little room that was already down here. My main tunnel, I guess is what you might call it, mine, goes down this way, which is, I believe, to the south. And yeah, I've done a lot of digging. It's really long. I found several diamonds. This is my second diamond pickaxe for this game, and I've already got 6 diamonds left. So, but anyway, that's just about everything I wanted to show you. I wanted to commentate this to make a little more sense. I'm pretty proud of it, and my friend's pretty proud of it, and we've got a lot of work to do. But really, I'm getting to where I don't really have a lot of work to do. I finished my house to satisfaction. I need to finish the floor and my walls. I want to like build towers on each corner of the wall if possible, like little towers, and that might be something I do. I may even end up expanding the wall itself. Of course, I'm not destroying a part of it when I expand it, but I might make more walls, behind to the east, and just make another gatehouse, kind of like what I have here. This is the best I can do for a gatehouse, because I really wish you could make like this a stone gateway, but that's not, possible. But anyway, and of course, a creeper blew up out here not too long ago, and I had to repair this, but of course you wouldn't know. Anyway, I mainly wanted to do a commentary on this episode because, yeah, I didn't want you being confused. The white boy is a guy who, one of my more loyal subscribers, said, yeah, you need to do commentary. I said, yeah, it makes sense. I probably won't do it every single time, guys. I'm sorry about that. But, because I probably will, like when my friend comes over, we'll probably work on this together, and I don't want to just sit here talking to the computer. It's kind of awkward. But every now and then I might try to do a commentary. But, yeah. I know I didn't really do any building during this. I know a lot of people like to watch this kind of stuff for the building. I know I just kind of gibbered on, so I'm sorry for you guys. But, yeah, commentaries are fun, and normally I don't know what to say when I'm playing the video game. Like this, I've already built all this, and I knew what to talk about. But whenever I'm like playing a game, I don't know what to talk about. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Before I end this little video, I'll go sit upon my throne and say goodbye.